Hey Tony, it's Friday. It's really late because I actually totally forgot about this. I went to work at like 9. I went to school at at 5 and I was at school until 9. So it completely slipped my mind today. So first off, to answer your question of the week, I have no plans for International Table Day tomorrow because I'm instead going to be studying for exams. It's not going to be a fun day, but it is what it is. So, I actually had a bunch of things I wanted to talk about this week. Because, holy crap, did a lot happen this week. First off, it was my last day at Community Legal Aid, which was really weird because I've been going there every single Thursday and Friday for. So that is weird. Also, there was a lot of news on the world front. Namely, South Korea and North Korea, Kim Jong-un and Moon Jae-kim, I think is the name of the South Korean president. They actually had the first meeting between them in ages, and Kim Jong-un became the first North Korean leader to cross the border since before the Korean War. So that was pretty big. But what I kind of want to talk about this week is something that's going to be a little hard to talk about because it's something I've really been dealing with this week. So, as in, it's been a pretty rough week. And the main issue is there's something called a thought spiral, also known as a downward spiral and things such as that. So, what a thought spiral is at its very core is when you are super stressed and you have these thoughts that keep progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Like a good one is, oh man, I got fired from my job. Since I got fired from my job, I don't have any money. Since I don't have any money, I can't afford my home. Since I can't afford my home, I'm going to be homeless. Since I'm homeless, I'm going to end up getting really sick and dying. Each step is progressively crazier and progressively less realistic, but your mind doesn't necessarily understand that. And most people have thought spirals at least once in their life, when something bad happens, and they just keep going down and down and down and down. Well, for the better part of this week, I've had that thought spiral. It started on Tuesday. I did a practice exam, which I thought I did okay on, and I did okay on, but I wasn't sure if it was good enough. So I'm like, oh man, I didn't do well enough on this practice exam, therefore, even if I study, I'm not going to do well enough on this final exam. If I don't do well in this final exam, I'm not going to be able to graduate. If I can't graduate, I won't be able to take the bar. If I can't take the bar, I won't ever be a lawyer. If I never become a lawyer, I'll have a lot of money I have to spend. If I have to pay for nothing. If I have to pay all this money, then I'm going to be broke my entire life. And if I'm broke, I'm going to get homeless, etc., etc., etc. It was a really bad downward spiral. And it actually lasted probably 2 or 3 days. Now, the issue is, of course, I've always had issues with anxiety. Not always, but I've always had issues with stress. And it's become even more it's been very frequent this year alone to have these constant spirals. I mean, I got into a slight fight with Taylor over a chair in the fall because I was having a downward spiral that lasted several days. All about the bar exam. And so for the majority of this week, I've been dealing with that downward thought spiral. And that's hard. Like, thought spirals are really hard to get out of because your mind gets stuck on this course of events without you even realizing it. And then by the time it's all said and done, before you even realize you're downward spiraling, you're so far down to the bottom that you're almost at a point where I don't even care anymore. And that's where I almost was this week. I was like, I don't even care. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not gonna graduate. And then it just continues that thought spiral. Thought spirals are really dangerous. And they are really dangerous because the more you have them, it takes longer for you to realize you're having a spiral. And by the time it's done, you're at a point that's so far away from where you were before that it's almost, for someone on the outside looking in, it's almost laughably stupid. Now, there are ways to fix it, to help kind of solve a thought spiral. And what I did this week was only one of them. And that was, I decided to go to the gym and do a workout fueled by rage and disappointment. Which meant I went for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, doing nothing but just lifting and lifting and lifting until I couldn't lift my arms up anymore. And that actually really helped. I did that probably Wednesday, and I have felt pretty good since Wednesday. I've had a good couple days, and in the studying for my exams, I've come to realize that, maybe I actually do know my stuff a little better than I thought. So, Tony, my question for you is, have you ever had a thought spiral? And if so, what did you do to get out of it? Tony, I'll see you on Tuesday. Later, bro.